Arab and Islamic leaders met in Doha this week after Israel carried out an airstrike inside Qatar. The strike hit a residence used by Hamas leaders who were in Doha to discuss a possible ceasefire, killing at least 6 people. The attack shocked the region and sparked an emergency summit, hosted by Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, who called the strike treacherous and cowardly. Nearly 60 countries from the Arab League and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation attended. The leaders spoke with one voice in condemning Israel. They said the attack showed Israel has no real interest in peace and was trying to sabotage negotiations over Gaza. But beyond words, the summit's results were mixed. The Gulf Cooperation Council, which includes Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Oman, announced plans to activate a joint defense mechanism. This means they want to strengthen military coordination and prepare a united response if any member is attacked. A meeting of the GCC Military Command will take place soon in Doha to work out the details. This was the clearest promise of action to come out of the summit. Other leaders called for tougher measures. Turkey's President Erdogan pushed for economic pressure on Israel, saying that past boycotts have worked. Egypt's President Sisi warned that such attacks risk destroying existing peace agreements. Pakistan called for Israel's suspension from the United Nations, while Malaysia and Iran urged Muslim nations to cut all ties with Israel. Their words were strong, but the final statement from the summit did not include sanctions, suspensions, or diplomatic breaks. Instead, the communiqué repeated solidarity with Qatar, condemned Israel's aggression, and praised Qatar's role as a mediator alongside Egypt and the United States. It also rejected any further Israeli threats against Qatar, but without clear steps for what to do if those threats continue. Meanwhile, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Hamas leaders would be targeted wherever they are, even outside Gaza. This raised fears of further attacks. At the same time, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio traveled to Israel and is expected in Doha as Washington tries to contain the crisis. Qatar says it is working closely with the U.S., but insists Israel must be held accountable under international law. So what does this all mean? On one hand, the summit showed rare unity. Arab and Muslim leaders stood together in condemning Israel's strike and defending Qatar's sovereignty. On the other hand, when it came to action, the outcome was softer than many expected. There were no sanctions, no cuts in relations, and no concrete punishment for Israel.